Yo, what's going on, you guys, and welcome back. Today's video is a bit of a different video. A lot of you guys, if you followed my journey on FIFA 19, know that I've gone from a Gold 2 player all the way to top 100. I've hit Elite 1 4 out of the last 5 weeks playing FUT Champions, and a lot of you guys have asked, hey Buck, how have you gotten so much better? What do you do? How can I get better at FIFA? And today I'm finally going to share with you guys my tips and tricks on how I've done better in FUT Champions. If the video does help you guys out, please make sure just to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It'd be awesome. We usually don't have content like this. We do pack openings and a lot of fun games, but I thought I'd share this with you guys and hopefully you do enjoy. Alright, you guys, tip number 1 is something that won't necessarily make you better at FIFA, but it is a way to manipulate yourself to get more wins in FUT Champions. I can't demonstrate it through FUT Champions right now because the weekend is over, but I can show you through other game modes, and that is playing home games. It is the stupidest part of FIFA, in my opinion. It is a way for pros to make sure they don't match up against pros, elite players to make sure they get easier games going forward, and I'll show you what that means right now. We're obviously in a draft, but all it comes down to is how you load into a game. So right now, it took me a while to load in. I loaded in at the same exact time as this guy, which means that I will be the away player. When you are the first person to load into a game, and hopefully we'll get an example of that right now, it means that you are going to be the home player. It means that you're probably going to have a lesser opponent. Right now, once again, it gave me an away game, so we'll go ahead and try it one more time. But it typically means that you're going to have an opponent that doesn't take FUT Champions as serious, or they aren't as good of a player. A lot of you guys have to be thinking, how are all these people going 30-0? How are all these guys going 29-1? How do they avoid each other? And this is the reason why. Every single FIFA, there's been ways to avoid people, and kind of the pros have always manipulated that stuff. And next FIFA, I'm hoping that there will be absolutely no way of being able to tell whether you're home or away. And you'll see a lot of pros match up against each other week in and week out. It's kind of a scummy thing to do. Everybody does it. If we're going to sit here and play this game the entire weekend, we obviously want to get as many wins as possible. I will get an example right now because it's not working. I'll show you guys that in 1 second. So right here, guys, as you can see, I was the first person to load into the game, and he loaded after me, meaning that I am the home team, and this is what pros do to obviously avoid everybody else. It's not a way, once again, to get better at this game, and this guy is absolutely loving this right now. It's not a way to get better at FIFA, but it is a way to manipulate yourself to get more wins in the weekend league. There are a lot of pros that still play away, so it's not a guaranteed foolproof system, but until EA does something about it, you might as well take advantage of it. Tip number 2, you guys, is something that's more of a psychological benefit, but is super important for FUT Champions, and that is simply limiting how many games you play in one session. I get a lot of comments every time I stream saying, yo Buck, I'm already 15-4, yo Buck, I'm already 16-3, when at that point in time, I'm currently 7-0 and it's the first day of FUT Champions. I know not everybody's the most competitive FIFA player in the world, but spacing out your games can help out so much. Typically on the first day for me, I don't play any more than 10 games. Even if gameplay starts to feel really tough around 7 or 8, I usually hop off around then. Another big thing as well is if you lose more than 1 game in a row with FUT Champions, go take a break. It is so important that you do so. Playing frustrated FIFA is one of the dumbest things that you can do because we all know how broken this game can be. And when you start to feel like you're in a downward spiral with this game, it only gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And before you know it, after an hour, you've ruined your entire weekend league and you won't end up getting your best finish. So for me, typically play 10 games a day. I know a lot of people work. I know a lot of people have school and you can't necessarily do that. And there are days that you have to jam games. My only tip to those guys would be if you end up losing a few games in a row, like please take a break. It can mentally make such a difference for you. You can come back to the game and feel completely refreshed, and you can end up getting more wins going forward. Alright guys, this is the part of the video where I may get some crap in the comments from you guys, obviously due to the fact that my team is absolutely incredible. With a pretty standard weekend league team beforehand, I was hitting 25 to 26 wins. I think having these players obviously kind of pushed me over the edge to now be hitting 27, 28, 29, but obviously a lot of things I've learned along the way have helped out with that as well. But going into my third tip, guys, it is finding the right players. It's FIFA. A lot of us have done the SBCs. A lot of us have icons in our team that aren't necessarily the most usable players, but we still try to force them into our squad because we spent so many coins on them. Stop doing that and use them as a super sub. If they don't fit for you, stop forcing them into your squad because it's only going to hurt you in the long run. I think a lot of people as well don't necessarily utilize custom tactics as well as they should have. You can start off in a very, very, very wonky formation like this. If you truly want to use those players and want to get them on chemistry, use your custom tactics, guys. You have a choice of 4 different formations that you can use that can put your players all over the pitch and they will remain in the same chemistry. For me, we start off with that, but I switch over to a 4-2-3-1, which is my favorite formation. It's a completely balanced formation, and I have my players set up the way that I want them to be with Cristiano Ronaldo up top, Hullet sitting in behind. I have my 2 center defensive mids chilling as well, and that is super, super important. Stop trying to force players players into certain positions just because you spend a lot of coins on them while doing their SBCs. Find formations that work for you. Find a balanced formation. I'll go into my custom tactics a little bit later, but obviously that is a super important thing. I see so many people try to force these icons that don't fit with teams or icons that aren't that good, that was kind of a mistake to do, into their squads. Try to find players that you can comfortably play with and you know that they will do the best for your team in FUT Champions, and I think that is a huge tip going forward. Alright guys, this next part of the video is something that will help out with your gameplay. It might get you a few more goals every week in League, might create a few extra chances, and that is my favorite skill moves this FIFA and the ones that I think are the most important to know. If I can do them, guys, I'm a guy that used 0 skill moves up until this FIFA. Every single one of you guys can do so as well. The first skill move here, guys, is the La Croqueta. I find this to be probably the best skill move in the game. You can glide past defenders and make them look silly. You can use it as many times as you want as well. This was actually for my 27th win, so you know I'm playing against a good player right now too. It is an unbelievably effective skill move that can create you a lot more space in the midfield or the attack. The next skill move here, guys, is kind of a broken mechanic of the game. It's the El Tornado, who can only be performed by 5-star skillers. As you can see, Marcelo is able to perform it, crosses it into Ronaldo, and Ronaldo does score. For whatever reason, this is way more effective of a cross than just a typical cross or even an L1 cross. It is something that will get you more goals. I don't like it. I think it should be out of the game, but it is obviously a skill move right there that you can use. The third skill move here, guys, is the drag back. I believe it's a 2-star skill move. I could be wrong about that. Correct me in the comments, but it is such a simple move. You can create so much space, sell defenders, be able to get that extra pass off, be able to get that extra cross off, and create a few more opportunities or keep possession. The next skill move, guys, is the heel to heel, and this is actually performed against me. It's a super simple skill move to learn. As you can see, Zlatan slides right past my defender. When you do this, it's almost as if you get a bit of acceleration. It's a great way to sell players, be able to get that shot off or be able to get that cross in. So those are the 4 skill moves that I use. I think those are the most important ones to learn. I think the Elastico is a great skill move too if you have the time to look that one up as well. That's something I'm still trying to master, so I did not show you an example of that just yet because I want to show you exactly what I've used to get to this point in FIFA. The next thing that I want to show you guys is the most effective way of crossing aside from El Tornado crossing and the scoop crossing, which is the L1 cross. L1 or left bumper, whatever console you're playing on, lobs the ball to the back stick. It is a very simple way to score. I'm sure it's happened to you a million times. I know it's happened to me a million times, but this is an example we have right here. Hullet receives the ball. He's able to play it back stick to Neymar for an unbelievably easy finish. Just hit L1 when you're doing the crosses, and it is literally that simple. The next tip I have for you guys is something I didn't really start using until this past weekend after I watched a bunch of pro events, and that is simply the low driven shot. Watching all these events over the weekend, it showed me how many of these pros actually use this and how important it is to score extra goals. In this first clip here, you can see Cristiano Ronaldo gets the ball in his foot. He is able to turn around quickly and hit the low driven time shot, and it absolutely whizzes into the net. The second one here, just obviously the ball is just played right into him. Simple LB, RB, just hit B or circle, whatever it is at the same time, and it just goes straight into the bottom corner. I did not use it very often before this weekend, but going forward, I'm going to be using it a ton. I think it helped out massively this weekend to get a few more wins, and hopefully it'll help you guys too. For the last tip here, guys, we're going to go over defending. It is probably my weakest point when it comes to FIFA. I have such a bad habit of pulling defenders out of position. It is something that I could totally improve on. I can show you an example of it right here. As you can see in this clip right here, I step with Varane. He's completely taken out of the equation. I step with Ramos. He's taken out of the equation. I step with Lala. Now he's completely out of the equation, and it creates so much space for him to get in behind and take that final shot. That is something I need to improve on. Using your midfielders to defend can help out a whole lot. If you feel like one of your defenders is going too far out of position, switch to somebody else. It is a very, very important thing to leave yourself not exposed in the back. And overall, you guys, I think that sums up everything that I've used to get much better at this video game. If there's anything that you guys have used, I'd love to know down in the comments below. I know there's a lot of videos out there that say, hey, this is how you get more wins in FUT Champions. This is how to get top 100. I think a lot of those come from like real pro players and not necessarily from somebody who's gone from gold 2 all the way to top 100 this year. I wanted this to be more of like a video that I could relate to my audience to, as a lot of us are on the same standard of FIFA. If the video does help you out in any way, shape, or form, guys, please just make sure to leave a thumbs up on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Once again, we really don't do videos like this too often, but being the fact that I've gotten a lot better at this video game, I thought I might be able to share some wisdom with you guys. I don't know if it's really wisdom, but be able to share my tips and tricks with you guys, and hopefully it does help out. If it does help out, obviously you guys can tweet at me, let me know my Twitch live stream, anything at all. Even if this video does help one person, it was completely worth it to me. Good luck, you guys, in your FUT Champions games. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.